Well, welcome everyone to the next episode of the Outsider Podcast. I'm Sam Mack and I'm my co-host here, Smoking Jay Cutler. See, I can just mix it up every time.
I know.
And today, you never know what the fuck I don't even know what I'm going to say. So welcome, my man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir. So whereabouts you from?
Grew up in Northeast Texas, a small town called Pittsburgh, and now I'm living right outside of Fort Worth.
So let's start from the beginning here. How'd you get into singing and songwriting?
My mom, she came up singing, just kind of like cover band type stuff, and just always around music pretty much. My mom's side of the family, they're songwriters and stuff like that, so just always been around it. And yeah, just kind of fell in love with it at a young age.
Was she on the road a lot growing up, or?
I mean, not
like?
a whole lot. It was more like a weekend deal, like Opry's and not Opry's, but like Opry houses and like county festivals and stuff like that, people's funerals and shit. So,
well, that's exciting.
yeah, for sure. I'm in the back like mixing, like mixing the volumes and stuff.
What age did you get your first guitar?
I was 12 years old.
All right.
Yeah. And taught myself how to play. Like I said, my cousins, they're songwriters and play guitar. So just from watching them and stuff, just taught myself how to play. And I'm still playing the same chords I learned back then.
Did you have the tabs that used to like print off the internet?
Oh,
like
I had like
and...
you remember like baseball cards and stuff? You had like, that was kind of the same shit that I had, but I just print them off, just laminate them, and I just flip through for whenever I go play shows and stuff. I just bring my book with me. It's just, hey, we want to hear some Marshall Tucker band. Let me hold on. Let me check it out. Yeah.
Who were you listening to on the radio at that point?
Back then it was kind of, whenever I was playing shows and stuff, it was like the pop punk era, or like the early 2000s and stuff. But I grew up listening to like old country, 90s country. My dad was a big hip hop guy, rap fan.
Really?
Oh yeah. So anytime I was in the truck with Dad, I'd have to we listened to Eminem and 50 Cent and all that.
Really?
G Unit.
A huge Snoop fan growing up.
Yeah, Snoop and Dr. Dre and all that. But whenever we got home, he was like, "Don't tell your mom we were listening to that shit."
That was a great era for rap and hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so good.
My favorite era.
Yeah, it's changed a lot since then.
Yeah. I like Snoop, Dre, like was it The Chronic 2001?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the best hip-hop album ever.
Eminem just put a new song out.
Did he?
It sounds exactly like...
Sam Mackey.
Sounds exactly like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you spent too much time on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably just like a freestyle he had back in the day. He was like, let's just put this
out now.
Yeah, for sure.
This is sell.
Is he going on tour or do anything?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm the one who's supposed to know that.
Yeah.
No, I think apparently it was supposed to be his last. They saying like this is the one that's going to end his career and be done with everything. But
Really?
I don't know.
Are you a big golfer too?
Yeah, I'll play some golf.
I love playing golf.
Yeah, me too, man.
You're wearing your troubadour hat. I mean, that's obviously not an accident.
I have a big
Did
tournament
you play
coming
troubadour?
up. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I just didn't want anybody to know. I was being real subtle about it. I almost wore the shirt too.
How'd you shoot?
Well, we did a 3-on-3 shamble.
What's a shamble?
You go to it's like a scramble, but you use the best drive.
Yeah.
And
Breast drive, and then everyone plays that ball?
correct.
Gotcha.
No, everyone plays their own ball after the best
Yeah,
drive.
that's what I meant.
You play golf?
Not anymore.
Really?
I haven't played in a while.
He's secret though.
Yeah.
I don't play golf.
Yeah, go out there and be a
Just
stick.
fucking beat you.
I don't have time for it. I really don't want to. I mean, with hunting and everything else, like spending another 4 hours 5 hours on a golf course. I mean,
Yeah.
I did. I
That's
played
a
real
fun
well
time
till
for it.
about hole 16, and that's when the booze caught up with me.
the
Absolutely.
wheels fell off.
Yeah, but
Or you might not have had enough booze at that point.
No,
Maybe
I
you
had
should've
enough.
hit the gas.
You got to keep that level.
Yeah.
You got to keep you get in that
tough.
right level. Yeah, for sure.
It's tough. Like every 3 holes, you got to have something.
I played phenomenal a couple weeks ago. It was like 6 beer, 1 gummy.
Yeah.
Like it took me 9 holes to get there,
Yeah.
but then once I got there, dude, I was putting it on it.
Lights out. Lights out.
Just put it on it.
Oh my gosh. How did you play sports growing up?
Yeah, I did. Baseball and football were like my two deals. I played college football at Tarleton State, D2 school. Played for a year, and the whole story pretty much behind every country musician, I feel like, is get hurt. Like, I picked up a guitar. But no, just snapped my ankle and had a big surgery on it. And whenever I came back, I was like, you know what, screw this. I want to play music. Yeah. We started playing more and just kind of got into it. And I was like, I'm not going to go to the NFL. So it's just kind of like, might as well just play some music.
Makes sense. You got screws, pins in there?
Yeah, I got a couple pins, some wires, and all kinds of shit.
How was that transition?
Oh, it wasn't bad, honestly. It was.
Were you playing a lot? Did you have gigs while you were in college?
Yeah,
early on.
Yeah, early on, and that's kind of what. Whenever I came back, and I could have kept on playing football, but I was like, you know what, I'm tired of waking up at 5 or the deal. Waking up at the whole routine of it, and I was like, dude, we're playing a whole lot more gigs now, and not really making a whole lot of money, but we're getting free beer, and the chicks are a lot easier now. So, but no, we were doing that, and then just felt right and felt like what I needed to do. So,
chicks like singers a whole lot more than they like linemen.
Absolutely, man, no doubt.
So, you have a band right off the gig, Jump Street?
Yeah. So whenever I first got to school, one of my buddies from East Texas was actually on the football team with me, and he was a bass player. He's like, dude, we got Stephenville, where I went to college, is a kind of a hub for Texas music, or was at the time. And so everybody had bands and stuff. And so we put together our own band. And ever since I got there, that's whenever it started, fall of 2012, October 2011, I'm sorry. And we got to playing and slowly kept getting gigs and stuff like that. And just kept going, man.
Were you strictly cover stuff back then?
Yeah, mostly, but we still had a lot of, we were writing all the time back then, and my cousins had a lot of songs that I would play of theirs and cut a lot of their music as well. So it was kind of half and half.
Are you still with those same cats right now, or do you have new band members?
No, not the original members. I'm not, but two of the guys that are with me right now have been with me for 10 years. So pretty much.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of hunting and fishing in college on there?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I grew up in Northeast Texas, and the hunting there is not the great. Duck hunting's great. The deer hunting's not as good. And I get out to Tarleton. It's south of Fort Worth, and that whole area. From there to West Texas, the deer hunting's crazy, And we'd hunt all season in East Texas and maybe see 10 or 15 deer, and you go and sit in West Texas for one sit, and you see 30 or 40
Are
deer.
those mostly high fence in West Texas?
There's a bunch of them. Yeah. There's a whole lot of them, but I never really had the money to go on all those unless we got invited. And still to this day, I try not to hunt high fence unless we get invited or whatever. But there's out there pretty much everywhere you go, there's a high fence.
Yeah, I used to hunt out in Virginia, and I would go weeks without seeing a deer. Then met one of my dear friends who lives out in West Texas and had a ranch out in Albany. Yeah, and his name's Pryor Blackwell. And got hunting on his place. Got there the first morning, the sun comes up, see a couple of deer. I'm like, man, we're already seeing deer. Shoo. That feeder goes off, and I look up, and there's like 15 fucking deer, and I lose my mind. He's like, just pick one out. Just take your time. I'm like, take my time. Look at all these fucking deer. I'm losing my shit right now.
That's how it is, dude, man. It's crazy, but it's always a good time out there, man. Anytime you can get away from everything and just relax a little bit, for sure.
So do you noodle? I saw the Instagram.
Yeah,
so you're one of my questions too.
Yeah, I was gonna show you. I keep showing this.
How long have you been doing that? You grew up doing that?
No, I didn't. This is probably like my 7th or 8th year, but I caught one the other day. She tore me up pretty good.
Where'd you catch that at?
My hometown lake.
So walk us through noodling.
Walk me through this. I've talked to a few people about this, but
yeah, it's so what they do, the male go in. And it's just during their spawn, they go in and they build the home or whatever, and then the female comes in, lays the eggs.
Are you going under boat ramps and shit?
Oh yeah, boat ramps. And so in Texas, you can't use boxes. Boxes just homemade, pretty much.
Trap.
Yeah, just a house for them. With the hoe.
Yep.
And so yeah, we're going under boat ramps and clay banks and just natural habitats and stuff like that. And so the male go in and bury everything out, and then the female come in, lay the eggs, and then they'll both sit over the eggs until they get ready to hatch or whatever. And so whenever you're going in there, they're just trying to protect, the eggs and stuff. So you go in there, it's full on. It's crazy.
Is there any finger movements, or you just stick your
some
hand in there?
people
They
do,
just.
but I've done it before and have them bite the end of it and
No
damn
glove
near-
or anything, right?
No, I wear gloves.
Okay.
I got to be able to play guitar and shit. So
I mean, if you're, are you worried there might be something else in that damn hole?
well, like turtles.
Do you guys, yeah,
turtles
you guys have
Fucking
like snapping
beaver
turtles down
or
there?
something?
Yeah, like turtles and snakes and beavers, they need oxygen to be able to. So everything that we fish is like submerged under the
Sure.
water. Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush, especially when you get under the water and you're just sticking your hand in a weird place underwater. It's wild, but once you do it a couple times, you kind of get addicted to it. It's an adrenaline. I'm an adrenaline junkie. So
Have you been skydiving yet?
I haven't done it.
If you want to go, let me know.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
How many jumps have you done?
Like 800 or so,
Oh shit.
a couple times. I'm not tandem quad though, but I got tons of buddies who are.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Is that with the wingsuit? You do the
No,
wingsuit?
I've never done wingsuit. I have buddies who do that. I've personally never done that.
No.
But tandems, like when you'll be hooked to a dude's chest.
Okay.
And then
How big was that one?
she was about 55.
55 pounds.
Yeah, 55.
it's a big catfish.
It's a big catfish. That was one I caught a couple of weeks ago.
You release them then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're that big, we'll throw them back, and just because we want to catch them again. But if they're a little bit smaller, 15, 20 pounds, we'll usually just throw them in the boat and cook them.
So you stick your hand in this hole, in this thing. Does it toy with it, or does it just go to town?
Usually as soon as you go in there, but it's super quick. It's like pop, like they're just trying to let you know that they're in there, and they're slapping their tail up against the to let you know that they're in there.
Uh-huh.
And they'll hit you. It's really fast, really quick, and then it's like, oh shit, okay, here we go. And then you just play with them enough that they'll be like, all right, and they'll bite your whole hand and then
You just
pull them
out.
on out. Yeah.
Do you open your eyes underwater?
I don't. No. Usually the places that we're in, like where the holes that we're in,
You
is
don't have to go under?
yeah. Well, it's just murky, dirty ass water, so it's just kind of like, all right, here we go. Where you at? Dude, it's,
are they fight? I mean, they come out pretty easy. I mean, is it like just pulling out 55
no,
pounds, or are they
it's-
fighting you?
Yeah, no, they'll throw their fins up and try to
block
stay in
themselves?
try to stay in the hole. So it's a wild time getting them out. And then once you get them out, as soon as their head come out of the water
Yeah.
and they know they're caught, they're pissed.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of hanging on. It's kind of like a rodeo, It's just like a damn bullfight.
Once they
but-
clamp down, could you release them and get out of it?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's because they're trying to get away from
Yeah, they
you.
don't want to be
Yeah, they
part
don't
of
want to come out, and they're trying to protect the hoe. But yeah, I don't know who invented this or when, but I mean, people have been doing it for hundreds of years, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, growing up, I never did it. I always thought, I was ignorant,
Sure.
whatever. And then Hannah and them, my guitar player, put me on. He's from Oklahoma, and they've been doing it in Oklahoma forever. And he's like, dude, you just got to come and try it a couple times. So I was hesitant the first couple times we did it. And then after being around it, I was like, you know what? After you're out there and you get you about a half bottle of whiskey in, you start getting confident.
I'm real
Kinda
fucking
like
brave
at the
now.
bar, you
I
start
can do
getting
this.
confident. Yeah, for sure. And then you do it a couple times, and I don't know, you become addicted to it, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun, man.
Do you ever feel them pulling you in there? Have you ever got one? You're like, I would hold my breath a little longer than I'd like to.
Yeah, that last one that I caught, the male ran out, like swam under me. I was like, damn, there's not another one in there. So I felt around again, and I could feel her tail, and I couldn't reach my hand around her tail. So I knew how big she was. So I came up, got another breath, and went down, and I felt around and finally got a hold of her mouth, and the bottom of her mouth was like this big. And I felt her gill plate and how far back it was. I was like, holy shit, she's huge. And so I got her, but there was like this wooden log, like right here, like going up this concrete slab. And so I had to, I don't know, wiggle my arm in one side, kind of twist her around. And then she threw her fins up, so I'm sitting there just yanking on her, about running out of breath. And then finally get her up, and I throw my arm in on her, and she went ballistic. She was on the boat. She went psycho on me, and but it was a lot of fun, man.
Would you do it?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think you would.
I'm risk adverse these days.
Yeah.
Like when in Australia, like I only went up to the water like here.
Yeah.
Like they're tracking all those sharks and stuff. Like there was a shark like in the waters like 3 days before.
They live there.
Yeah.
Those like the great whites and shit.
Yeah.
too,
I mean,
bro.
it was like a 14-foot shark. Like I'm not fucking.
Nah,
with
like
that.
that.
No chance. But I would. I did see some kangaroos that I'd fight.
Dude, I want a full.
What's that video of that dude? The dog.
Oh, one attacks a guy's dog?
Oh yeah, and he fights them.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Then he goes out there and he like squares up.
Yeah, like squared up with the guy.
Yeah.
So you're out of college and you're playing music. When did you realize, like, hey, this is going to work or this could work?
Man, we put out Noise Complaint. Noise Complaint was like the first record back in 2016 that we put out that was just like genuinely me, genuinely us. I wrote every song on it. You know, I was going through a breakup at the time, so I was just really honest about everything that I put on it. And surprisingly, you know, people started showing up to more and more shows, and we're like, the hell is going on, you know? So from 2016 to 18, it was just like everywhere we went in Texas and Oklahoma, we were selling out all these rooms, and it was that's kind of whenever I was stepping back, I was like, holy shit, you know, this might actually work. After 4 or 5 years of playing and, you know, not really getting a whole lot of recognition and no radio play at all. Still to this day, don't really have a whole lot of radio play, but yeah, just kept going, and then finally having a record like Noise Complaint where people could relate to, and then just me being completely honest and real and raw. Man, yeah, people started showing up to shows that, you know, we couldn't pay people to come to, and so once that happened, it was like, you know, this could be something that, you know, that goes on for a while. So.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your label at that time?
We didn't have a label.
Didn't have a label?
We finally signed a label to Columbia in like 20.
So you guys just had a
20,
manager, and you guys were just going.
Yeah, hell, we didn't even have a manager. We were
going-
doing everything on our own.
Whoever called and said, "Let's play," you guys
Legit,
like,
yeah,
we'll be there.
Yeah, we were calling bars and pretending to be a booking agent just so they'd put let us come in, and the money was shit. You know, but like I said, most of the time it'd be a couple bucks and some free beer, and we were like, hell yeah, absolutely.
There's
But-
a handful of you guys from Texas though that did it this way.
Yeah.
That radio
Sure.
just like didn't help out, and you guys were like,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, I will just tour Texas."
But
and
I
Oklahoma
think
and do it.
that's kind of like part of it, though. Like coming up in Texas and stuff, it's kind of if you don't come up that way, then it's kind of well, you didn't pay your dues.
Yeah.
We're not gonna fuck with you. So I think with just coming up in Texas and all the artists, it's kind of I don't know, a way of passage to beat the road up and go through all those hard times and sleep on the couches and do all that shit and you know, cut your teeth and to get it that way.
So you said you got your record label in 2020. So was it COVID was 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
It must have been a tough year. How did all that transpire?
Yeah, it was. So everything kind of slowed down. We put out Harold Saw High. Harold Saw High did really great for us. And then we came back. We had a couple offers from some different labels, but music was completely shut down. So for like 2 years, I mean, musicians were kind of out of a job. Where, you know, people were trying to do the separated COVID deals.
Fucking ridiculous.
It was so bad. But I mean, but we had, you know, you had to
the Zoom
to
concerts.
feed folks and stuff, you know, and so we did that. We talked to a couple labels and signed with Columbia. You know, they were like, hey, we know what's going on. We know what you're doing. We don't want to change anything. Whatever you want to do is completely fine. We're just here to help any way we can. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. And we weren't looking to sign with the label. We always wanted to be independent and do shit our own way. And we got told horror stories about record labels, you know. And so, but after that, you know,
What changed your mind?
Well, I think there's just so much that you can do on your own until you have to
Yeah, you hit
find
a
a new
wall.
way.
You
And
need
then,
help.
and we were kind of at that point. It was like, we've done all this, we need, if we want to go to the next level and do something different, then we're going to need a little bit of help, and that's where Columbia came in, and they've been great. Nothing but good things from them.
Where'd your style come from?
Kind of all over the place. Like I said, Mom was worship music and country music, and Dad was hip hop and classic rock. And then in middle school, I found out Nirvana and pop rock and pop punk and all that shit like that. So it's kind of all like a blend of everything that kind of all put in together pretty much.
What's been your favorite place to play?
Oh, man. There's been a lot of them. I love Denver. I love Chicago. But Texas, any place in Texas for us is Fort Worth. I'll probably have to say Fort Worth. Yeah, man. It's a show enough hoedown there.
So I like to ask this question to every musician we have on, and I've gotten some interesting answers. What's one of the craziest things that have happened on the road? Vince Neil told us about the Kitty Cat Club. You're cleared hot with anything.
Oh, man.
I don't think anybody's going to top Vince, honestly. I don't even know if you would want to top Vince.
Man, I don't know. We've done some crazy-ass shit, but most of it is it's one of those you wake up and it's like, what really happened last night? So most of it's probably pretty fabricated. But I don't know. I'll come back to you on that one.
When was your first time in Nashville?
Oh, I don't know.
Would you guys come up here and play much?
Not really. I think the first time we played in Nashville was probably 2018, maybe 17, 18. I think that was at Exit In.
Yeah.
Exit In.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Town's changed a lot. Do you have a place here?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm still back in Texas. So.
Do you think you'll ever have a place here?
No. and nothing. I love Nashville so much, but like I've been saying, Nashville's kind of becoming a Vegas for me, like a 2-night town.
It definitely is.
And dude, if I lived here more than a month, then,
dude, it's fucking brutal.
Dude, it's just like every time you come, you're seeing all your buddies and shit that you hadn't seen in a while, and seeing all friends that you hadn't seen in a while. And they're like, and there's something to do every single night.
Every night.
It's like, hey, you doing this, you doing that? I'm like, do y'all stop ever? Like, it's like constantly going on.
We got in last night. I mean, it was mid-afternoon, and I mean, it was just like it's Monday. Bachelorette parties.
Exactly.
Everyone getting off the plane. I'm like, where? It's Monday.
And when you want to take a break, then you get a note from a friend. Hey, I'll be in town tomorrow. Mm-hmm. What are you up to? And then you find yourself going out on a Wednesday night. You're like, good.
Yeah. Yeah, the weekday hangovers hurt the worst. It's like, shit, what do I got to do today?
You burned it down last night?
I didn't, actually.
Good
We watched the Mavericks get their ass kicked, and that was horrendous.
You a Cowboys fan?
Big Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Yeah. Cowboys, Mavericks, Rangers, Stars.
Are they keeping? Should we keep Dak? Lose Dak? What are you laying on this?
I've always been a Dak fan.
Okay.
But it feels like once we get to the clutch times, he just forgets everything that's going on. It's just like, and I try hard to defend him, but it's getting harder and harder. And then we signed Zeke back.
Yeah.
I think probably because we were paying him so much money just to be in New England. Yeah. He's like, oh, hell with it. We'll bring him back.
We've already paid. We paid for him last year.
Yeah, we paid for him last year. Might as well keep paying him to be here.
Is this Dak's last year on his contract?
Yeah, last year.
What do you think? You think they're going to keep him?
I think they're gonna ride this year out with him, and then see how the off season see how playoffs go. If they make the playoffs, see if they make a run. Mm-hmm. If he's playing really well, maybe they extend him throughout the year. But I think they're gonna wait until the season starts for sure.
Well, it's kind of just like everything that we did during the off season. Like, who the hell did what were we doing?
Yeah,
and we signed our long snapper. We re-signed our long snapper, and it was just like, I don't know. It was. As a fan, it's really hard, especially the Texans, which I'll never be a Texans fan. But the way I think Texans are going to be sharp this year.
They're going to be good this year.
And
they're going to make a run this year. I really like their coach. I mean, your guys' problem is always. I mean, your problem and your solution is Jerry. I mean, Jerry does so much for the Cowboys, but
for sure.
He's also the guy he's also the GM.
Yeah.
And he's what, 80 now?
He's getting up there.
70s?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
So I don't know if Jerry's still pulling all the strings. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know. I was alive during the Super Bowl, the couple Super Bowl runs, but I don't remember them. So it's just been disappointment after disappointment.
Been a lot of time. A lot of time.
So what's the story behind the chicken nugget tattoo?
The chicken
Or
nugget
chicken
tattoo.
finger or whatever it is.
Man, me and y'all know Todd Graves with Raising Cane's at all?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, so we're pretty good buddies. We've been friends for a while, and one night we drank entirely too much, and we were on the bus, and the venue that I played at had given me a tattoo gun. I don't know why the fuck they thought that was a great idea, but they give me a
They
tattoo
knew exactly
gun.
what they were
Tattoo.
doing.
It would have been different. It would have been different had they give me just a tattoo gun, but they gave me a tattoo gun with ink and all like the goo and like they gave me a whole kit. So I'm like, tattoos all night, right? And like I said, Todd, we were having a great night, and I was just like, man, I'd love for you to put a chicken nugget on or a chicken tender on my leg and sign it. And so, yeah, I didn't even have the right needle for it. It was pretty shitty. Pretty shitty tattoo. Thanks, Todd.
Do you
but-
still have the tattoo gun?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, we're just changing needles all the time.
Well, that's
and,
good.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, at least we're changing the needles. They're the wrong needles, but I'm using a shade gun to try to do outline stuff. And
Oh, so you're an amateur tattoo artist.
I'm a semi-professional race car driver and an amateur tattoo artist.
Volunteer firefighter.
Absolutely. Rodeo clown, whatever you want, dude.
Sam's got a few dumb tattoos.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. This is almost 20 years ago now. I was in Pacific Beach. Sunday got away from me, real full, and like, man, I want my knuckles tattooed. And the only 2 4-letter words I can think of was "fuck this." I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't get that on my knuckles. And I'm like, I'll get on my toes. And I'm waiting in line to get in this bar, and there's a tattoo shop right there. I'm like, I'll get "fuck this" on my toes, and I'll get a chicken on one foot and a pig on the other. And I walked in there.
Why a chicken and a pig?
It's an old sailor thing. So the story is, back in the day, wooden ships, they would bring livestock aboard, and they put them in crates, and they'd put the chickens and the pigs in the same crate, and the ship would sink, and they would always find that crate with the chickens and pigs float ashore. So the rumor has it that pigs float.
Is that for food?
Yeah.
Okay.
So pigs float, and chickens can always find their way home. So if you have a chicken and pig tattooed on your feet, you'll never drown.
Nice.
Right. So there's a little thought process behind that part.
Do a lot of seals have
Yeah.
chickens?
No, just it's a Navy tattoo. And then I'm like, yeah. And I tell him I want chicken on one foot, pig on the other, and I went, "fuck this" across my toes. And he's like, "Well, what do you want on the other 2 toes?" Well, I couldn't make the cognitive leap that I needed 2 5-letter words, by 2 fucking 4-letter words. So I have "fuck this" across my toes with a star on one and an exclamation point on the other pinky toe.
Oh, fuck this. Like,
Yeah, so that happened. Kids are real proud. Yeah.
man.
But so have you given any more tattoos? Or I know you didn't give yourself that one.
Yeah.
So.
I give out a lot of tattoos. Not a lot, but it's never whenever I'm sober. Like whenever I'm sober, nobody's like, "Oh, hey, Co, tattoo me." It's like, "Oh, Co, we know you've had a bottle of tequila tonight. Why don't you tattoo me?" And so I've given some tattoos.
Are you good?
Honestly, a couple of them, I'll surprise myself.
What were they? What's your
it's
best
usually,
work?
I don't
Damn,
know.
that turned out good.
Yeah, I'll do my signature a lot. I've done a couple girls' asses to where I'll put my signature on their ass, which have all turned out pretty good. And then I don't know.
I mean, how does this come out in conversation? Like, hey, is the tattoo gun just like
Do you have
sitting
like a
there?
do you have like a scrapbook?
Yeah, if it's like a dinosaur or something like that, like I can't, or a dog or a stick figure, yeah, I mean whatever. But with wording, I'm pretty decent. So if it's anything like if they want me to spell something out or whatever, I'm all right. I might misspell it, but lettering, I'm all right. But drawing,
You can spell.
absolutely. Yeah, I can spell. Spelling bee champion, 98.
Yeah.
Artist, maybe not.
Yeah, yeah. Artist, I am not. But yeah, the way people trust me to give them tattoos while I'm just belligerently drunk is is beyond me.
It's pretty standard for each platoon. There's typically one guy, or I say not platoon, maybe troop, that is dabbles in tattooing.
Yeah.
And they bring it on deployment, and like you're 3 months in without shit to do, and
You're bored.
the guy gets good. It's like, hey, just start up here and like practice.
For sure. Yeah, that's what everybody like on the road. One of my guys, my guitar tech, he's got a gun, and actually he's getting pretty damn good. But it's just kind of like thighs, your masterpiece. Go at it, dude. It's that fun. And so, I mean, I've got some pretty ignorant tattoos.
What's what's the one that kind of stands out the most besides the chicken nugget? Or the chicken finger.
I've got fuck 2020 on my leg here. Yeah, I've got this tattoo. It says slow fast. The reasoning behind that, we're in Florida. Oh, here's a good story.
I love good stories.
So we're in Florida. We get done with the show, whatever. We go to the bar, and there's this guy sitting there. He's got all these good-looking girls around him. Like, hey, what's up? You know, and he's like, hey, man, big fan. I want to tattoo you if that's cool. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. So we keep drinking. So finally we go to his house. We pull up to his house, huge mansion. And we walk in. He's got the gun going. He's like, well, what do you want? I was like, I want slow women and fast horses. Or slow horses, fast women. And so he's like, oh, I got you, bro. I got you. And he's doing slow on my arm. I'm like, dude, there's not a whole lot of space here. So, and that's pretty big. That's pretty big. And he was like, and I'm trying, at this point, everything's kind of going on. The girls are annoying as fuck. And I'm drunk, trying to get home. I'm like, dude, just put fast right underneath it really quick.
I gotta go.
So I wake up the next morning and I've kind of got some blood there. I'm like wiping it off, and I go take a shower. I'm like, God, this is slow fast. What an idiot. So shout out to him for my worst tattoo that I've ever gotten.
Have you spoken to the guy since?
I haven't. I don't even remember his name. But I watched him clean his needles and everything, so we were good there. That was one thing I do remember from that night. But
I got tattooed in the living room at a party in Bogota.
well, it's good because like everybody looks around. It's like, what's he getting?
Where is Bogota?
Colombia.
Yeah. They probably didn't wash their needles.
Yeah, I gotta watch you like pull it out of the package, sit it in there.
I'm gonna say I watched all that, but I don't remember.
There's no chance you watched all that. Which tattoo?
This one.
Which one?
The KJJM. Yeah, over the other ones.
That's pretty.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad, right?
Yeah.
Who did it?
Yeah, no doubt.
A Colombian?
Yeah, in the living room in Bogota.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone just invited him to the party, and he showed up with his stuff, and
Why are
tattooing
you
people.
guys hanging out with so many people with tattoo guns? I don't understand this.
It's kind of like
I've never been at a party where there's been a tattoo gun just hanging out.
you have soft ass friends.
Apparently, I do. I need some harder friends.
No, it's part of it. Like if you have a rager, and a bunch of people coming over, you
definitely. I guarantee Ben's never been to a party with a fucking tattoo gun.
Ben.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, I've been to a handful of them. I got this whole arm done in the living
it's
room.
not like every party we go to, like, oh, who wants to get tattooed? But it's kind of like, I mean, it's like a unicorn. Somebody's got a gun. It's like, hell, give me a 4-leaf clover or something.
I got this whole arm done in the living room in Sicily.
Damn. I feel like everybody over there, though, like, is a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
I tell you what, everyone in Australia is tatted up.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Everyone, they're super edgy over there. The guys.
Really?
Yeah. Tatted up.
Is that why you
Cool haircuts.
I think I'm part of Australian. I don't have a cool haircut though. I'm just bald.
And no shoes.
No shoes.
No, like when I'm saying like they just walk around barefoot.
Barefoot everywhere.
Restaurants.
Australia's just a different world, I feel like.
Have you been down there?
I haven't.
Me neither.
But the stories I've been told is just
where I was at Gold Coast. I mean, it's very Americanized.
Yeah.
But they just don't give a shit.
Where were you at in Australia?
Gold Coast, like I landed in Sydney, and then it's like an hour flight north. It's just like a big ass beach town.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you leave the beach and you go like 15 minutes inland, it turns into like mountains and rainforest.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's wild. But very Americanized. Like everyone speaks English. It's just with an accent. Sometimes you can understand, sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
Everything's mate. No shoes. And they just chill.
So I saw a video, or not a video, a picture, and of you killing a big gator.
Yeah,
Did you kill that with a knife?
I did.
How'd that work?
Man, we were down in around Matagorda, and we drove around all night. And we found this one that was already. So what they do? Are you familiar with gator hunting? Like how they do it with the string and
Yeah.
all that? Yeah. So,
Treble?
Yeah, with the treble.
Yeah.
Well, this one was they just had it baited, and so they had it. We drove past the little area that he was at. We could see him. He was already hung up. So we're like, we'll come back tomorrow and get him. And whenever we were there for 3 days, and we walk in, and kind of like when you walk in here, they just had don't tell how much money worth of whiskey, bourbon, and they're like, drink whatever you want, dude. You can have as much as you want.
We're gonna get this motherfucker to kill a gator with a knife.
I was like, are y'all sure y'all really want this?
Where's this at?
Matagorda, like very south of Texas.
Okay.
And so I'm on like a 2 or 3 day. I'm on like second day of no sleep and just pouring bourbon down my gullet. Dude, I'm gone, whatever. But the whole time I said that I want to kill him with a knife. And so finally,
Why? Why?
I don't know.
Is it you came in? You came in with this idea?
It's the same deal with the noodling.
Or is this
and everything.
after all the bourbon?
I'm an adrenaline junkie, so
Okay.
I got to.
So
get
we
it
came
somehow.
into this situation. I want to kill him. With a
Yeah, I
knife.
want to kill him with a knife.
And then they were like,
And
drink all this bourbon, and we'll kill him.
everybody there was like, they had videos of their buddies trying to do it, and like it was like near misses and stuff. They're like, oh, he's crazy. He's not gonna do it, right? And I was like, I'm fucking doing it. So.
How big was it? How big was this knife?
Let him get through the story.
I
got some questions.
That's what I'm getting at. So this gator is like 8'2", 8'3", right? It's a pretty. I mean, it's not a massive gator, but it's a pretty fucking big gator. And they finally get him pulled up to the sandbar or whatever. And me, in my drunken stupor, I'm thinking I'm gonna jump in the water with this thing and wrestle it like Happy Gilmore, like after the ball, right? And they're like, no. They're like, no, don't do that. Like, let us get him, like his head at least on the ground, and then you walk up, get in the water way steep, come up behind him, and then just grab the back of his head and sit on him. I was like, okay. And so like I'm kind of wobbling out there, and they're like, all right, he's good, dude. And these some bitches can go. I mean,
Were they filming this?
crazy. Oh yeah, it's all on
Okay.
film. We got it all on film. But and so I get behind him. And I just grab the back of him, and he starts going crazy. I'm on top of him. I'm like, yo, hand me a knife. And these bastards hand me a buck knife. Opened is about that long. It's probably got a 3-inch blade on it, right?
Oh my gosh.
And dude, I'm like, are y'all fucking serious? And I stick him behind the head, stick him a couple times, and he's going ballistic, right? And then finally, it kind of calms down, and I'll show y'all some pictures here in a little bit. We finally get him up, and they're like, "You're one crazy son of a bitch." We thought you were joking, and we're like, "But the hospital's a long way from here. If this had gone south, we'd have been a little fucked." But yeah.
So you were just on top of its head?
Yeah, I just had him by the back, kind of like I watched a lot of Steve Irwin back
Sure.
in the day.
Yeah.
So
Lifted him
yeah,
up by the
like
chin
pretty
underwater?
much. Yeah, for real.
Were they
And
holding his
so-
mouth down?
No, they had him by the string. So
Okay.
like they had
Yeah,
taped him up
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
like
yeah.
so they just had him up to where like his front legs and his
Sure.
head was on and the rest of his body was in the water. And I just got behind him and they handed me that buck knife and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And so I'm just driving it into the back of his head and man, we get him up and they were
So
like, you one
tense.
crazy son of a bitch, dude. But yeah, I'll shoot you all the pictures and everything. And
Did you get it
the video.
mounted?
I got the skull did,
Skull,
and then
yeah.
I've got the skin on
Yeah.
the wall. With the,
Have you done that with hogs yet?
Yeah, that's my next question.
sticking them with a knife.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like all my buddies ran hog dogs growing up. So that's either we'd hobble them and sell them or stick them with a knife. So.
I did that for the first time, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or more down in South Carolina. It was Christmas Eve. Go down there to visit my grandparents. My grandpa's like, hey, I know you like hunting, so you need to go meet up with my buddy. He has a bunch of hogs on his property. You can go shoot them. So my wife and I, we go out there, and I have an AR. And he's like, oh, you're not going to need that long. I'm like, I have no clue what he's talking
Yeah.
about. I'm like, okay. So him and my wife go push like all this thicket, and I'm waiting on this bush hog trail. A couple run across, boom, 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 hammer them, go get them, throw in the back of the pickup. Then I believe it was this guy's son shows up with his buddy, all the dogs. They had bay dogs and they had pit bulls. They let those bay dogs go. And then maybe like 45 minutes later at the most, we hear them howling, and they look at the GPS like, yeah, they have one bayed up. And then I'm like, so what's going on now? Like, you'll see. Drive up there, and they got this hog, and the dogs are in a circle. They're barking at him. He's sitting there, kind of lunging forward. They let these pit bulls go, and these pit bulls have Kevlar vests on and big Kevlar necklaces. These pit bulls just grab it by the jowls and the ear and like, hold it to the ground. This old boy hands me a big knife, and he's like, "Now go stab it." I'm like, "I'm not worried about stabbing that hog." I'm like, "Those dogs, they won't come loose, will they?" He's like, "No." He's like, "All you do is get up behind that hog. You stick this knife in right behind its shoulder, and you wind that sumbitch up like a Model T."
That's it, dude.
Like a Model T.
I'm like, all right, I can handle this. Did it. Threw him in the back of the truck, right? So then one of the hogs I shot before, we're driving. Katie's like, "Hey, I think one of those hogs is alive." I'm like, "Nah, it's probably its nerves." She goes, "Well, it's walking around the bed of the pickup."
No
I look
shit.
back, a different hog, one that I shot.
Yeah.
Is walking. I'm like, "Oh, well, now I know how to stab a hog now."
Yeah.
So I hop back there because I figured, I'm like, if I shoot in the back of Katie's truck, like everything's going to go wrong, right? And so I'm trying to pin this thing in the corner. Then I finally pin in the corner and I stomp on its head. Then I stab it like that. Yeah. And Katie's like, "That sounded pleasant." They squeal.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah, hell, we were in Graham not too long ago, and there's a bunch of wheat fields out there. So we'll go out there with the thermals and shoot whatever. So we come up on a group, and we everybody empties their clips, whatever, and there's a couple of them still kind of hobbling around, and I just start. One of them is mad. He was probably, I don't know, 300 pounds probably. At the time, I don't know. It's pitch black outside. He's got cutters on him, probably about like that one, a little bit bigger. And I get up to him, and I don't have my pistol. I don't have my gun with me. All I've got is this another fucking buck knife about that long, dude. And I grab him by the back of the legs, and I feel how big he is. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm trying to flip him over, and I finally get him flipped over, and I stick him. And as soon as I stick him, dude, like I said, I'm riding him like this. Casey, he's probably, I don't know, 20 yards behind me laughing. I'm riding him like I'm in a mutton busting contest, bro. And he's just squealing, going crazy, dude. And I'm just sticking him, trying to get him killed finally. And Casey's back there laughing. I'm like, "You're not gonna fucking come and help, dude." And dude, we finally get some lights on. I'm like, holy shit. And he had, like I said, he had them damn cutters on him that long. I was like, if he'd have got a hold of me, it wouldn't have been no good, man.
Any of your buddies' dogs ever get lit up by him?
Yeah, we've had dogs get cut and just staple them up, try and get them back to the truck as fast as possible, get them to the vet. But.
Yeah, I was talking to Ike Eastman from Eastman's Hunting Journals this weekend, and he has a buddy that runs them, and he said his buddy has lost numerous dogs doing it. Yeah. Those things will jack you up.
Yeah, they're gnarly.
So, bucket list hunt. I know you're a musician. We're not talking shit for music right now, but we love hunting. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like a red stag up in New Zealand. I don't do the New Zealand hunt.
Not too bad.
I think I have one lined up for us in the spring of next year.
Nice.
I don't know if you're interested in what you have going on next spring.
That's when they rut.
Yeah.
March, April.
I just had some buddies. They just got back. They did red stag. They did all kinds of animals.
Sheep. There's a couple sheep over there.
Yeah,
right?
a bunch of sheep. But they killed some fucking hammers out there, dude. And I heard they like to party a lot over there. And they like to drink and hunt. And I was like, dude, we're going to get along just fine.
There's no season over there either.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so you can, suppressors, like, they're just not hard to get. So everyone's suppressed. And there's no season. So you just pick your time of year. Yeah. And I want to go during the roar, rut or whatever.
Absolutely.
So I met a gentleman at NWTF here in Nashville, the National Wildlife Turkey Foundation, and he's an outfitter over there. So I think we're going to link up with him and head over there. What about that all dad in West Texas you killed?
Man, that was a tank. That was on the 06 ranch out in Alpine. Yeah.
Okay.
And so the 06 and the
were we on the 06 ranch when we were out there?
We were in Alpine.
Yeah.
Y'all might have been on this. Y'all either on the CF or the 06?
I couldn't tell you now. I want to say we were.
Might have been the 06.
It could have been. Yeah.
They're too I mean, there's not
massive.
a. I mean, there's a bunch of ranches out there, but those are like some of the two of the bigger ones.
Like 500,000 acres.
Yeah, it's
okay.
We were
it's
just
ridiculous.
north of Alpine.
Yeah.
But we were flying. We were in helicopters. We were
Yeah.
flying everywhere.
Yeah.
So mine were in the Glass Mountains, kind of up above Fort Davis Mountains.
Okay.
So same place I shot that elk this past year. But yeah, me and my buddies, we always try to get together a hunt. And he, one of my friends, he ranched it forever. And we got out there and we drove. You can drive it all day in a side by side and never see the whole thing, you know.
That's a fact.
And
We were in a
so-
helicopter, and I don't think we saw the whole thing.
Yeah, for real though. And you eat breakfast out there, lunch out there, and you just drive and just have a good time. And I'd missed one at I think like 1,000. I mean, because you can shoot forever out
That's
there.
a poke. What
Yeah.
round were you shooting?
28 Nosler.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then
What kind of gun?
it's a Fierce. They're out of Utah. Some of my good buddies, the Moguls.
I've got I think my 300 Norman's got a fierce action on
Action.
Yeah. And so we went around all day. A couple buddies shot them and shot a couple good rams. And then it was like the last day, last evening, last light. We come up on these grazing in this field, and we walk, I don't know, probably 800 yards and get up on it and shoot them once. And they're tough. You don't
They're
realize
tough
how
as
big they are. They're
shit,
tough.
too.
I mean, they just eat those bullets. It doesn't matter how big the gun is. They just eat them up. And I shoot him once, and he's ate him a little low, but it was a good shot. And he's running away, and all I can see is his ass. I'm like, and I don't have a can on my gun, and it sounds like a fucking bazooka. And I'm like, y'all hold off. Boom, and I shot him right in the ass, and it just folded
Rolled
him
him?
up. Dude, yeah. And
The old Texas heart shot.
yeah, I think he went. He was close to 33 inches.
Damn.
Almost, yeah, it was good all day.
Yeah.
We were out there.
You're not gonna like this story.
I told a little bit about it before.
Gosh.
In
It's massive.
around Alpine, and we had a helicopter for a couple days, and we get out there and we thought it was just a predator hunt, coyotes and hogs. Sorry, and then one of the guides shows up and he's like, "Yeah, the owners of this ranch and this ranch, we ran the numbers. They had a biologist fly, and they want, I think the number was 700 all dad
Female.
ewes.
I'll use.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted 700 gone.
Yeah.
And we were like, how the fuck are we gonna do that?
And we heard 700. We're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Him and I went up the first evening, and we did kill like 50 hogs in one run.
Yeah.
The first morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this happened. We're like, all right, well, Jay, you can go first, because we were just kind of rotating through as pairs and individuals. And he goes up and comes down, and we're like, how was it? And he goes, 60. We're like, get the fuck out of here.
Rolling up
And
60. I rolled
It
up
was AR. Just
Yep.
Yeah.
a 5.56 and had a can on it. And at one point, like, we all thought the helicopter was going down because like it's smoking. And I'm like, what the fuck?
The helicopter smoking.
No, we had just
Oh.
smoke in the helicopter.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "What is going on?" And I
Rubber
looked down,
flooring.
and the suppressor is just basically
Red hot.
melted off because I pulled the trigger so many times.
Yeah.
But they were up on we got them pinned up on those mountains.
Yeah.
and I mean they couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And our chopper pilot was pretty good, and he's just putting them right
Yeah.
there. And I mean, just boom, 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 and they're just literally just falling off mountains.
And
That's
then,
awesome.
So he comes down, like, next up, he's like 60. The next guy's like 20, 25, 30, 40, or whatever it was. So next morning, I wake up early, and my buddy John is talking to the guide, and he goes, I walk on the corner, and I read his lips. He goes, 60. That's a pretty high number. And then I can hear a little bit, and he goes, and the guy goes, I think it was 72.
It was a lot. We were
What?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had maybe 10 magazines up there.
Even
It was like 30. I mean, I shot at least 300 rounds.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
more.
That's great.
And then, we put a hurting on them. And the reason it leads into my next question. The reason being is because they're an invasive species,
Yeah.
and they spread disease, and their disease directly affects the bighorn sheep, which are native, right? And of course, bighorn sheep are big money animals. And so that's the whole reason. And we didn't make a dent in the population.
Yeah, no,
Not a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
dent.
Yeah, you could do that every day and not put it down.
Yeah.
Population. Like, and that's kind of, I mean, every time we rolled around, you'd see a couple big rams, but with every ram there'd be 40 ewes, you know?
40 of them.
So I mean, yeah, I promise. What y'all? It's kind of like with the pigs, you know.
Yep.
I mean, people, they can say what they want to about the pigs and all that stuff, but I mean, if you were to go out and kill 100 a night, it still wouldn't do
Hell
anything
no.
to them.
No, I think they breed like 3 or 4 times
Yeah,
a year.
a
And
year.
they have like
20 a litter.
20,
or
30. I
something.
mean, they're thriving.
Yeah.
I forget the number. The helicopter pilot trip told me the number of what one pig can produce in a year.
Yeah.
And it is insane. It's,
insane.
like thousands.
No, it's super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you get your bighorn sheep at?
In Sonora, Mexico.
Okay. How was that hunt?
It was great. We
So is that a desert sheep or is that a bighorn sheep?
it was desert.
Desert.
Okay.
Yeah, desert bighorn.
Yeah.
We were in Hermosillo, so we've been going to Hermosillo last.
They're known for
2 or 3.
They're known for
Yeah.
down there. For,
Yeah, huge. So we usually go down and we usually go mule deer hunt every year down there in Hermosillo. I killed one the year before that,
I saw a picture. It was a nice
and
one.
thank you. And the next year I wanted to kill just a desert bighorn. I wanted to kill a coos deer. I never killed a coos deer before, and luckily the coos deer out there, they're kind of magicians, man. You hardly ever see one. If you do, it's just not the right one. And like the second day, where the last 2 days were going to be our bighorn. First couple of days were going to be coos, and I was hunting with other buddies that were hunting mule deer. So I was just along for the ride, pretty much, you know, drinking whatever. And we come over to this canyon, and there's a coos probably 400 yards up, and he's looking at it. He's like, I mean, it's got a broken tine, but I'm looking at him like, dude, it's a big ass coos deer. It went 111, you know, 111 inch coos deer is a
Yeah.
damn good coos deer. And I was kind of hungover from the night before, so I was just like, I can't be on this truck much longer. I'm gonna throw up. So I'm looking at him. He's like, I don't know. If you want him, you can shoot him. I was like, absolutely. He folded his ass up, dude. And I didn't realize how small they were. And
Yeah.
like
Throw them in the back of the truck.
yeah, they're like 100, maybe 100 pounds.
Really?
Dude, yeah. He threw him over his back and started walking down the hill. We threw him in there. And it turned out to be a great deer. And then we went a little south to Hermosillo. And the year before, my buddy's wife had killed a desert bighorn. And all of us being around it was like, this is sick. You know, this is really cool. And the outfitter, he cut us a deal with, you know, if you kill a coos deer and a mule deer, you know, we'll take a little off
Sure.
on the sheep. And man, so it was a lot of fun, dude. It was something I'll never forget. You know, it was one of those that people say you get the ram fever or whatever, and everybody's like, you're gonna go for the slam. I'm like, yeah, I'm down with it. I just need a couple sponsors to throw me some money for that.
Shit,
Some bitch,
shit gets
man.
expensive.
It's so quick. Man.
We got a buddy that I know somebody. I know the guy that just bought the ticket for the new world record for Bighorn. It's in Colorado. It's like going. Like, it's gonna go like I think he scored around like 210, 212.
Those Rockies, they're expensive as hell. They're
$1 million
getting up there.
for this this
Yeah.
whole endeavor.
Yeah, they are.
$1 million.
They are
Sheep.
getting up there. Well, that's awesome.
So this story makes a little bit more sense now that I know you're an adrenaline junkie. But what about that bear in the cave?
Yeah.
Were you running dogs?
Yeah,
How'd that happen?
Yeah, so we were in Utah. We were running dogs, and they had treated once. It got down before we could get to it, and then ran it off into this cave. And we got there. We could kind of see it in there. And I mean, hell, I could have shot it from there, but it was probably a 30, 40-yard shot. So once you got in the hole to the cave, wasn't very big. Once you got in there, it opened up, you know. And
Who went into the cave first?
my buddy Alex Nestor, he got up in there, and he got there before I did. So, but he thought it was a cat.
Alex has some balls.
I'm
I'm picturing a little wiry cowboy.
Yeah, all he could see was the eyes, you know. And so he's thinking it's a cat, and he's thinking it's a bear. He's like, he takes back, or he calls back. He's like, hey, it's a bear. We're good to go. So we scale this mountain, get over there, and I'm looking at this hole. I'm like, man, why don't we just shoot him from here? It's gonna be all right. It's like, no, let's get in there with him. I'm like, okay, like whatever. And so I wiggle my big ass on.
What
down
gun do
in
you
there.
have?
I have my bow. And so it's like I get in there and I'm like, hey, hand me my bow. And so and like I said, it was like a hallway and it was like 12 foot high. And we get in there and he's like, so what are you thinking? He's like, well, here's the pistol, you can shoot it. I was like, man, I really like shooting the bow. I can shoot it from.
What's
from
the bear
outside.
doing while you guys are having this
The
convo?
bear's just sitting on its ass and it's pissed because it's been ran all over the mountain and you still got dogs barking and shit. And so he was like, man, I think it'd be a little bit more ethical if we get in here and get a closer shot, And I was like, all right, man, cool. So as we're talking about it, like he's talking, he's like, hey bear. I'm like, hey, calm down, dog. Like it's tight corners in there.
Is he pissed off like in the back or?
Yeah, he's just slowly looking at us, and then he turned around and he's just slowly look at us. I was like, oh, we got to get out of here, dude. And so we come up with a plan that I'm gonna go in. There's enough light to where I can kind of shimmy up like Spider-Man. And if I shoot him and he comes out, then he can just come up right underneath us, And
yeah, because he's gonna get out of there when you get shoot him.
And so we get enough space where I can get probably 10 yards from him. And the first shot, I mean, it was right on the money. And he lays down, and I put a couple more in him. Just
he didn't run. He just laid there.
He was done in 15, 20 seconds. But
death moan.
Yeah, for sure.
In the cave.
In the cave was
I
wild.
bet that was
sick,
It was
dude.
crazy. It was so wild. I'll send
You guys have that
the
on film?
video. Huh?
You have that on film?
Yeah. I had
wanna see that.
my buddy with me behind me with the camera filming, and he had his pistol on him and everything. So if shit did go south, we were gonna be all right. But it was a very eerie feeling being in there, and but it was one of those stories that I'll never forget. And it was a great time.
I mean, that death mode just had to be loud as hell.
Oh
in that little
man,
cave.
it was wild. It was spooky.
Your last bear did that, right? The one you just killed?
Yeah, I just shot one in Montana, a spring bear, and we actually saw him the week before in the hill, and just like first day, and then we didn't see another one at all. It got a little cold on us. And then we're sitting in the cabin, and he literally just for some reason was down low, and grilling out on the back porch, and he just cruises right by.
Oh shit!
Ran in, got my gun. I was in shorts.
This motherfucker's locked.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
We hunt forever.
Yeah,
and I see
that's how his
I
life
had
goes.
sandals on. I yelled at him, I'm like, bear. She's like, you're full of shit. I'm like, I'll be back. Grabbed the gun, and I mean, he's just literally just walking. And I mean, I just hopped the fence, and like, he kind of crests this little hill, and I walk up, and there's like pine trees kind of everywhere, and I'm looking for him. Like, where the fuck is this bear at? I'm getting a little uneasy because I'm like, did I pass him? Like, did he win me? Like, what's happening here? And I'm looking around, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit! And he's like, from me to Ben.
Oh no!
And I'm like, but his butt's to me, and I've got my big ass 300 Norma. I mean, a scope that's this big.
So dialing it down.
My suppressor's this big. Like I can almost reach out and touch the son of a bitch. And I'm like, kind of getting back. I'm like, fuck. Can I just look at him? Turn around. He kind of turned around me. And I just let one fly.
Yeah.
And I mean, he went around the tree and died. But it was
awesome.
It was an interesting little hunt.
I've only been a couple times, but every time it's been with dogs. I've never set over bait or anything like that. But
yeah, you can't bait in Montana.
you can't bait in a whole lot of places, right?
No.
You can bait in Maine.
Maine and
North
BC,
Carolina.
yeah.
North Carolina, you can bait. Kentucky, a lot of Kentucky. A lot of Canada, you can bait.
Canada, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for the bears. Big bears.
I'm supposed to go up to Manitoba in October for a bear hunt and moose hunt.
We saw a couple moose this weekend. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you did. They got a lot of.
We were driving around.
Guy.
A couple folks, Kyle and Christina, they work for us, and they've never been out west. And we went out to Big Sky for the Total Archery Challenge event, and so we just like, hey, let's just go drive around the witching hour, an hour before. We just go cruise around, and I've heard of moose in the area, see elk, see bear, see everything. Christina, she really wanted to see a bear when driving around. we get to this big power line cut, and when we're way up the hill, way up the mountain, and there's this big cow just chilling. We watch her for a half hour.
Moose?
Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't walk around much and then beds down. And then the next day, we're leaving the resort by that lake.
Yeah.
And there is a real young bull and a cow in there right by the lake.
Yeah,
So
that's
pretty
that's
sick,
when
dude.
that's whenever they're like the most dangerous. The cow got a calf, dude.
So my buddy Kyle, he's like, so should we get out and take pictures? I
No,
I
absolutely.
said, stay in this fucking car. I'm like,
Absolutely
she will
not.
kill you so fast.
Yeah,
and
They're big ass animals.
huge.
You don't realize how tall they are, dude. I mean, their legs are halfway up that door.
So
dude.
lengthy.
Isn't the back of them like 7 foot? That's the first one I've seen in real life.
They're ridiculous, dude. It's-
They're horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Legit.
you can hunt over bait in Maine. I've been up to Caribou, Maine, which is right on the border of Canada, with an outfitter, and I really enjoyed it because if you sit still and you just haze yourself, for the 4 or 5 hours
Yeah.
you're up there, you're going to see a lot of bear.
Yeah.
But if you're swatting the flies and mosquitoes, they're not going to see shit. And I didn't know this about bear,
I'm not that disciplined.
but
I said that before.
Not that patient.
so there was people that didn't see a bear all week. I saw bear every single day.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I just sat there and I sat there like
Yeah,
this.
you love to be in
Yeah.
pain.
To
and
just
see
haze
bear.
myself. But I saw bear every single day. There's people that didn't see bear. I highly suggest it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
You got any cool hunts coming up this fall?
I've got one coming up in a couple weeks. I'm doing the Velvet Elk season up in Colorado.
Oh, really?
Got a buddy. He's
I didn't
got
know there was a velvet elk season.
yeah.
Really?
It's only I think it's like a week or two. It's not very long.
In July?
At the end of July.
In July? Okay.
I've heard
And,
about this. I think it's something like you got to be above 10,000 foot to hunt them in velvet.
Couldn't do it in Montana then.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I've had a buddy that's been asking me to do it for a while, and just always been busy. as hell
Bo,
with
obviously.
doing it. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
yeah, man. I'm excited about it, and so
So you're gonna get a elk in velvet.
hopefully, man. Hopefully, so.
I've never even heard of this.
That'd be
That's
sick.
gonna be badass.
I'll send y'all pictures of.
I need to
I'll get
hear.
one,
I need
but-
to hear about this hunt.
But it's just, I mean, they're already massive. But
Oh, so much.
makes
I
them
mean,
look like-
they're gonna be massive.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're different. They're a little bit different color too.
Yeah.
How's that coming with the scoring? Like, do they score
no,
outscores?
I mean, I would guess.
Typically here, I mean, if you kill something in Kentucky or here in velvet, I think there's like a drying out period of like 60 days.
Oh, you have to let it dry out.
Yep.
Makes sense.
But it's still, I mean,
Yeah, because you're gonna get so much more on mass measurements and stuff.
but I mean, still, even the deer in Kentucky we've killed with velvet, even after they dry out, they're still they're still thicker. That's why I'm gonna try to get that slim in velvet.
I knew it. I'm gonna let him go another year till the motherfucker sees him. And
Well, this is the year like they're all gonna drop velvet like a week before, like early or some shit like that.
Are y'all? How long is this season? Is it all month? Is it
Kentucky?
a month? Yeah, the velvet season.
So yeah, I mean it starts. So bow will start that first weekend in September, and the bow will go all the way.
Oh, it'll go all. Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's no stopping.
I thought it was just like a week long. Or
So
something.
we're Tennessee, they've got like that 22nd, 23rd, like wherever that weekend is. They'll have 3 days of bow for velvet here, and then it closes until I think October or something. Where Kentucky's open, we open September and don't stop. But you won't have a gun until November. But you can use crossbows maybe after the first weekend.
I forget.
I forget.
You can use them late. Crossbow season stays open late up there.
Yeah, but I think after maybe like the first 2 weeks in Kentucky, you can use crossbows for the rest of the year.
Did I see yesterday you hit a wicket that you haven't hit before?
A what?
A wicket or like a level you haven't hit before? I think I saw on Twitter that your new song.
Oh yeah.
Tell us
High
about that.
Road.
What the fuck's a
Alright.
wicket?
You know, like a wicket, like you hit different wickets or something.
I'm lost too.
Ben, Google wicket.
Ben,
please.
ben knows exactly what a wicket is.
I have no
Ben,
idea.
don't fuck me on this one.
I don't go to parties with tattoo guns, and I don't know what wickets are.
No, yeah, we had a High Road that I cut with Jesse Murph. It just went number 29, debuted at number 29 on the Hot 100 Billboard charts. So
Congratulations
yeah,
on that.
I appreciate it, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the new record. The everything we've been putting out. I was kind of not skeptical, but just kind of, it's a lot different than the other records that I put out. It's kind of another direction that we're kind of going, not like completely changing up the sound, but just a lot different than what I've done before. So
you cross over pretty easily though with different stuff.
for sure. I was just curious as to how everybody's going to take the music and stuff, and the feedback on us has been phenomenal, and we've just been blessed to have the fans that we do and listen to the music the way they have and perceive it the way they have. So
what's the difference in your past albums and this one?
Oh, the other stuff's just been a lot more edgier, a lot more rock-oriented, Texas rock, with a little bit of country slang. And this one's kind of more laid back, honest, kind of, I don't know, kind of deep dives into my life as a person a little bit more than the past stuff. And it's not, so much about the partying and the rock and roll as much as it has been. This was just kind of more me telling them more truth, being honest, and some shit that I normally wouldn't say.
More of a stripped down version of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. We've, people, what they see me as, I feel like is just stuff that they've heard or stories they've heard or what they see on Instagram. So this is kind of me telling them pretty much, this is me, and I don't know, it's been good.
So what got you that point to be able to write about, I'm going to call it your true self, or, to just explain it the way you just did? Is it a confidence level? To be like, hey, this is who I am. These are my hardships. I'm not really what you see on the surface.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just kind of me being a little bit older than, the past records. It's been, all through my 20s. It's been the party lifestyle and everything going to. And I mean, I'm not saying that I've.
You have a girlfriend now?
So are you slowing down?
No, I mean, I'm not slowing down.
You got a kid on the way? What's going on?
I don't know what it is. It's it's just kind of looking back at it, and I don't know. Everything else has just kind of been the party, and all my music's always been raw and real and honest. But this is kind of more of an inside look of who I am and how I actually feel about things. So,
on the spot question: best little lyric you've ever written?
Shit, I might have to come back to you on that one. I've written too many of them to just give you one.
Too many good ones.
Too many good ones. There we go. We'll say that.
So I'm going to digress back to this big old Tom that I saw a picture of.
Yeah.
Colorado?
Colorado, yeah.
What time of year?
January. Yeah.
I mean, that was a big time.
Yeah.
Was that with a bow?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Did you eat it?
Huh?
Did you eat it?
I have, yeah. Tastes like pork.
That's what I've heard. I've heard like the tenderloins in a mountain lion is phenomenal.
You have to cook it thoroughly. Like, it's kind of like bear.
Same like bear.
Yeah,
Sure.
like if you don't cook it thoroughly, you get trick.
Yeah.
Like you can get trick or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it tastes just like pork, like to me.
I don't love bear.
Yeah, bear. I mean, it's kind of an acquired taste. Like if you don't like really gamey shit, then you're probably not gonna like it. But I grew up. I mean, yeah, I grew up eating everything. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoy. It's not like I get home like, oh, I can't wait to cook up some of this cat. It's not one of those things. But yeah, every now and then, yeah, throw it in a slow cooker or just fry it up like some pork chops or something. Man, it's phenomenal.
What kind of bow you shooting?
I'm shooting a Matthews lift right now.
Oh, do you like that one?
I love it.
Damn.
So we were talking about it before.
Is that what you're gonna go with?
No, I'm sticking with my Z7, bro.
Yeah, he's
throwing darts.
I said, hey, man, if you're comfortable with it, man.
I just got to restrung. It's brand new.
Did you shoot that son of a bitch out there?
No, I didn't get a chance to shoot at all.
Didn't shoot. Have you shot it once?
Not since I got it restrung.
So you were just gonna go out there blind and just let
No,
him fly?
I was gonna go to the practice range. And
okay.
Sling a couple arrows and
So you
go put a whooping on anybody.
Carry that son of a bitch out there and didn't even shoot it?
That's exactly what happened.
Oh, that's the worst.
Not like I was walking.
I've got a Matthews and I've got a Hoyt too, the
RX7. Yeah, that's the same. I got one, two, I guess whenever first the carbon RX7.
Yeah. I think I got the carbon one too.
That's what I got, and I liked it. I liked it more than the Phase 4.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went with it. I've always been a Matthews guy, and then they came out with the lift, and I started shooting that. And I think it's the best bow that they made in the last 10 years. And
The problem with them is like they just come out with a new one every 6 months. So
Yeah.
it's just like shit. I don't know.
any bow that's been made in the last 10 years is
Probably pretty good.
Yeah,
It's the shooter, not the
absolutely,
bow.
What's the Z7? That was what, 2000?
10 or 11.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I either got it to bring on my Iraq deployment or my Afghanistan deployment, one of those, and it was brand new at the time.
Yeah.
And I paid, I feel like I thought it was going to be $800. And I walked out there, I walked out, and it was like $1,700.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, glad I'm going on a fucking deployment.
Yeah, you get them all decked out and everything. It comes.
Yeah.
That C7's a good bow though.
It is a great bow.
So how'd you get into fishing the Pro-Am Bass Masters, and how was that?
So actually, I followed Bassmasters my whole life, or whatever, and I was going through Instagram, going through my messages. You have your messages and then your unreads, or there's like two different whatever. And so for some reason, one day I'm bored and I go and click on it, and it was like from 2 weeks ago. Bassmasters sent me a long message like, "Hey, we're having our first Pro-Am. We'd love you to be a part of it." And I was like, "Shit!" So I hit him up real quick. I was like, "Hey, is it too late?" And we got in with him. It was like me, Whiskey Myers, Cody Cannon from Whiskey Myers, Randy Moss, a couple other celebrities. It was fun. Got to fish with Matty Wong. Learned some new stuff with him, and it was a great time, man. It was I don't know, it was cool just to be around all those badass cats that go out and do that all the time, man, and especially watching it growing up and being a part of it. It was really cool.
There's schools like in the Southeast that are giving scholarships to college for bass fishing.
There's high schools that have teams.
Yeah.
The
They
one
definitely
the one I went to school with, they've got a team. I feel like it's just becoming a bigger sport which is great, but I don't know, high schools and colleges.
I talked to Travis Denning last week or week before last. He's a real big into bass fishing, and the more we talk to folks, I thought people would be more into hunting than fishing, but like bass fishing, a lot
Bass
of people
fishing,
are really into bass fishing.
Cult.
Yeah, we need to throw something together for bass fishing competition.
That'd be dope.
Yeah,
Y'all
super
do,
sick.
holler at me.
What about sorry, I'm going to keep asking animal questions because I'm infatuated with them. The deer macho. Send it.
Macho.
You killed this massive mule deer. Was it macho? You
Oh
finally got
yeah,
macho.
that was down in Hermosillo.
On that same hunt?
Yeah, same. No, it was the year before.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got there, whatever, and I was bow hunting the whole time, and in Sonora and Mexico, you're usually on the high racks, and you're driving around, and I'm sitting there. And I've been sitting in the blind for like 3 days, and this deer had been coming in, but while I was there, he just didn't show up. And finally, one night he shows up, and I'm talking about it is the last shooting light. I'm talking about I can hardly see him. He finally jumps in, and he's eating all these raisins and shit. And he's like at 30 yards, and he finally gets broadside, and I shoot, and I don't know if it hit a piece of wire or what, but the shot was low, and it was pretty much just brisket, right? I looked at the arrow before anybody else did, and I was like, "This sucks." I mean, there was a lot of blood, but it was dark blood. It was meat all over the arrow. I was like, "This ain't good." And so we looked for him for a day, lost a day looking for him, couldn't find him. And one of the other deer that was on camera with Macho, or that was Macho, we hunt very last day, very last light, usually how it is, We were around this corner, and he's sitting there, and he's rubbing his head on this cactus, and I was like, "There's no way this is happening." And I don't have my gun with me. I got one of the guides, Weatherby 270s, like a 1968, with the damn, I don't even know what Tasco scope. That's like an 8 zoom. So, and he's at like 200 yards, and he finally sees us, and he looks up, and I rail him, dude, and we get up on him, and I was like, "You've got to be shitting me," And it wasn't the deer that I shot with my bow, but it was the same one they were pretty much the same size, but he was on a different piece of property, or not a different piece of land than where he'd been. So it was during the rut. So I'm my guessing he was chasing doe over there, but it was it couldn't have happened any prettier. The sun was going over the mountains, you know, and it was kind of meant to be type deal.
Did they get that other one on camera?
They did. He came back. Yeah. So it was.
It's all good.
It was good. Yeah, for sure. But,
Those pictures you have, that thing looks like a fucking
he's a
tank,
beast. Dude. He's. I've got my dad killed a Rocky Mountain mule deer in Colorado last year, and at my lake house we have them sitting side by side, and the Rocky Mountain's neck is about this big around, and the Mexico is about that big around. But beautiful animals, man.
What do you got going on for music the rest of the year?
We'll start tour mid-July. It'll go through mid-November, and then record comes out July 19, and then after that it's tour. That's it, man.
Back to work.
Back to work.
Who are you on tour with?
We're gonna have Treaty Oak Revival. We're gonna have Colby Cooper, Dylan Wheeler, Colton Moore, Cat Hasty, a couple other folks, just a bunch of Texas cats.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's gonna be good.
Excellent. So that starts right after your birthday. Going to go on tour. How long is that for? Till November? You said?
November. Yeah, we'll finish up in Europe. I think we're doing 13 dates over there, and as soon as we get back, it'll be right in the middle of the rut, middle of November. So.
Oh shit! While you're over there, where's your last stop?
Cologne. Yeah. So
Cologne. Where's that?
Germany.
Yeah.
Well, you can go red stag hunting, pig hunting over
That's
there.
what we talked. We
You can do
talked
it.
about it. I
Yeah.
promise you.
It's
can
a
do it
pain
in-
in the ass in Germany.
You can do it in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can, I think a lot of
And
folks
Italy, I
sneak
think.
over to like Prague or the Czech Republic or neighboring countries, and they go after red stag, boar. Where I think I was on a train one time going from Munich to I forget where, like Switzerland or somewhere, and we saw just red stag littered all over the side of this hill.
That's crazy.
So I know you can go hunt them over there. I know that's more difficult than hog. So maybe you can go get yourself a wild boar over there.
Absolutely. We've talked about it, and we talked about hanging back for a week or two and hunting. But I was like, it's right in the middle of the rut back here, and so I got to get back and got to get back in Illinois and Texas, and I'm not gonna have a whole lot of time to hunt this year. So when we get done with tour, my ass is going. Y'all ain't gonna see me no more. Like,
So appreciate you having on,
man.
coming on. Tell everybody what you have going on. New album, tour, the whole 9 yards.
yeah, new record, 9 Lives coming out July 19. Tour will be all over the U.S. I think we're doing close to 70 shows. So yeah, y'all come catch us and check out tour dates on the website, GoWetzelMusic.com, I think, maybe. I don't even know my own website.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
On
Ben,
Instagram.
flash that sucker up for us during
Yeah,
this
for
thing.
sure.
Instagram, socials, website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool,
y'all
man.
come say hi, man.
How long you in town?
About to head out here in a little bit, man.
Going back to Texas?
Get back to Texas. We got a couple days, and then we've got a show in Colorado this weekend.
Where at?
So, shit, if I know.
Somewhere.
It's kind of just show up and play. But yeah, we got a little bit more stuff left, and it's time to go back to work. But thank y'all again for having me, man.
Oh, it's a
Yeah,
pleasure.
too
It's fun.
easy,
Thanks for
brother.
coming in.
I hope your tour goes well, and I hope
Yeah,
you
man.
kill some big deer this year.
Yeah, good luck to y'all this season
Yeah.
too, man.
Thank you. Cool. Appreciate you, my
Awesome.
man.
Absolutely, thank you, man.
Thanks, bud.